till, oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so good evening, everybody. It's great to see everybody, all the faces again. My name is Alejandra. It's important that we all turn off our phones just for the respect. If you want to take a call, then please just step outside. Separate from that, I have the pleasure to introduce Jesse in a moment, but I did want to come up and share my experience with the IE Mastermind. So I joined the Mastermind a couple of months ago. It was an answered prayer. I had been visiting with the Rancho Cucamonga Chamber of Commerce and other networking. I recently moved back from Texas here to California. So networking is what it's a good thing to do, right? And I received an email from this gentleman. So I came downstairs and I really like the group. One, because there's a lot of value in every meeting that we have, but also because I find that sometimes in other networking functions, it's very superficial, but here we get an opportunity to get to know each other and the value that's shared help each other grow. So yeah, just wanted to share my experience with the IE Mastermind. And now I will introduce the vice president of the IE Mastermind. But most importantly for me, I hired him as my life coach, helping me break through limiting beliefs and just coaching me day in and day out on elevating to a new level in my business and in my life. So without further ado, Mr. Jesse.
It's a beautiful day today, right?
Yes.
It's not raining, summer weather, right? I acknowledge Alejandra for being here. She's somebody that's very decisive. You know, I have conversations with people. Oftentimes people are going to get triggered when they talk to me. It's because we operate here where we want to build a relationship with people, right? And we really care. So what I want to say is right here, when you guys get to know each other, know that you're in a safe place where it's not like any other place where it's like, you got to put your guards up or you got to be hesitant. Hey, well, tell me a little bit about you and go do a background check. We're in a place here where it's so good and refreshing that now I'm seeing people bring in their plus ones, or somebody of a guest without even knowing that they were going to do so. I like that. What we have here is called POC, proof of concept, right? Nick and I teamed up together. He was already hosting the IE Mastermind, and we teamed up, I think in July, just to grow it for us necessarily, but for a place of contribution, right? So how many of you believe that sharing is caring and there's power of who you share with, right? I've spoken to Juan about it. Like, it's good to have members talk to him and be like, hey, this is my feedback. This is what I think. So much so that's the quality of speakers that we have today. I look forward to having today's speakers speak because look at this. How many speakers have brought in a book that they just give to everybody? I think they were probably the second one.
Yes. We're gonna pass the plate, man. You got
I put my QR code in.
a memo this guy.
So this is what it's all about, guys. The information that we share with each other, right? It's all in abundance. I definitely want to encourage you guys here to establish business partnerships. So before we get started, my name is Life Coach Jesse. Like Alejandra mentioned, I am the vice president here of the IE Mastermind. And what I love the most about this is having one-on-one conversations with you guys where we're all giving each other feedback. So we're going to go around the table real quick, just a few seconds, your name and what you do, or with the company that you're with. Go ahead.
My name is Alejandra. I'm with Leto Financial. I help companies reduce their tax liabilities.
Thank you.
Tony Gutierrez, President and CEO of Leto Financial.
Mitch Morris, a couple different companies, in-kind company and Conrad Always, where I'm a business advisor.
Thank you. Bruno Bantia with Salt Oasis, Holistic Wellness Center here in Rancho Cucamonga.
My name is Brianna Prince. I have a life insurance agency called TrueLeg, and I primarily focus on mortgage protection.
Thank you.
I'm Nathan Yanis. I'm the owner of Visionary Media. We are a creative media marketing agency.
Thank you.
I am Juan B. I am the owner of BCD Industries. We're a concrete and masonry company specializing in that and also do telecommunications.
Ooh.
Greg Ross, American Mortgage Alliance Company, and First Class Platinum Brokers, Realtor, and Mortgage Loan Originator.
Hi everybody, Anthony Mejia. I own Mint Design Studio. It's a brand and design studio. We help visualize brand and product stores. Hello, I'm Gabriel Solanco. I own Tech Catalyst, and we do software solutions for small businesses, and we also provide marketing solutions for them.
My name's Nick Paez, president of the IE Mastermind Group.
And Reggie Thomas, and I'm a business consultant. My company is PeakePotential.
Thank you. So let's go ahead and get started real quick. Perfect. So this is what the IE Mastermind is about right here, right? So we like to surround ourselves with inspired, growth-minded people. What that means is we're always, I don't know about you guys, but I operate good off purpose, you know? And for me, as a man of faith, I always lean on God, right? The other thing is we're always sharing the big ideas. This is why it's important what type of members we bring in, because I noticed that one thing, iron sharpens iron, right? So we all may have different backgrounds, different experiences, different professions, but we could all somehow, some way help each other solve things that need to be solved in our businesses or in our personal life. And lately, we've been talking a lot about health, which is pretty cool. The other thing is that we share keys to success and resources. I know that on the last Tuesday call, we were talking about CRMs, databases, and stuff like that. How many of you guys have a database? Raise your hand. So it'd be cool to be in a room, a collective room like this, where we're all sharing what's working, what's not. Some of you may have virtual assistants, some of you may not, right? So it's important for that. And the main thing is this community here, where it's like, I like to say that I pretty much know all the members on a one-on-one basis. I've either broken bread with them, I've had prayers, I've had good conversation, or asked for advice. So this is what the Mastermind is about. A little bit about this, we already had this introduction. The community, right? So this right here was our first get-together that we hosted in December, and we just recently had the gala. As you can see, we always get about 20 plus people showing up to these masterminds, eager to learn, and we have them twice a month. And right now we're actually growing the chapter in Temecula. So if you know anybody in that Temecula area, let us know. Fitness right here. Well, we worked out, and these are some of the members. We put their logo right there, right? And before we talk about the community wins, the last thing we'll talk about is one of the wins that came about the Mastermind was the Infinite Growth Expo. And how many of you guys have read Think and Grow Rich? Raise your hand. Okay, chapter 10 is the power of the Mastermind. So in today's meeting, at some point, if you're new here, we're going to share something that we either want to accomplish or something that you need help with. I shared that I wanted to host an event for 1,000 people. So the first event, we hosted it at the Ontario Center for 250, and it was something that takes up to 4 years to, but we did it together. See the difference? And now we're about to do the second one. The first one was November 18th. The next one is August 10th for 1,000 people. You know, so I thank everybody here that's attending, everybody that shows in support, because we could only do so much on our own, right? We got to go together. So up next, community wins. Mr. Nick Pius, the president of the IE Mastermind. Round of applause. Thank you.
So it's great to have everybody here. When you're surrounded by the right type of people, there's a different energy in the room, right? So when you share ideas, they don't just bounce off somebody who's not receptive to it. It starts growing when you're around the right people. So that's what this room's all about. So it's always about collaborations, the things that we're doing together and the ideas that can spark from conversations in this room. So anybody want to share any wins, collaborations that have been doing in the community? Have you been working with Jonathan? Any projects?
Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to go walk some sites that he referred me to, and actually I'm gonna refer him to another one in Riverside. They contacted me, so I said, hey, you know, let's go out walk it together and potentially lead to more. So we're gonna set it up for Monday.
Awesome. And Jonathan's, he owns a big painting company in Los Angeles, I think 40, 50 employees, doing a lot of big things. And so, yeah, I'm glad you guys
and
connected.
also with Palacios, I got one of his VAs on board.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool. Anybody else want to share any wins for the week? Any collaborations?
You're working with Dr. Richard.
Oh, yeah, I am working with Dr. Richard. So he's been mentoring me for the past like 3 weeks, I think it's been, something like that.
And he was one of the speakers here. So that's the power of here, that the speakers that come here are at another level, and you have access to them. You know, they're more than willing to help you out. So
And then Alejandra and I, we're going to be working for the employee benefit side a little bit to refer business that way as I transition away from my insurance company. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. And then we're also working with Mitch, so I'm excited about that collaboration. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our special guest speaker. Well, one of the things that we like to do is it's all about breaking past the limits that are in our mind. Because we all have our own limits of what's possible in life, but until you expose yourself to different things and expand that limit, you're kind of settling with only what you can think. But when you're around people who expand your mindset of what's possible, and the cool thing about being able to have a small room like this to share these ideas and realize, man, this business owner who just hit $5 million, he's in the room sharing the secrets with us. Or this professional speaker who speaks all around the world is actually in the same room with us sharing the ideas. So it's super powerful. So it's a privilege and honor to introduce Dr. Reggie Thomas. He's a renowned speaker, professional development trainer, leadership and management consultant, and a business consultant specializing in people management. He's also an Amazon bestseller, which you have in front of you, called People Pains. As the president of Peak Potential, Reggie offers broad spectrum of services, including executive coaching, leadership coaching, and consulting with the focus of emotional intelligence, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and team building. Reggie's life is dedicated to empowering leaders and individuals alike in their to achieve their full potential, fostering a legacy of service, joy, and success in others. He has also run 35 marathons, or maybe 36. He just ran one, and he crushed it. I think he was number one, first place in his age group for the marathon. So 36, and then he's also run 5 ultra marathons, including the Boston Marathon. Wow. Of course, he's very strong with his faith and family, and it's my privilege to bring Dr. Reggie Thomas up. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Well, hey, it's good to be with you this evening. Thanks, Nick, for inviting me, and it's just good to be with you. I was here, I think 3 months ago, and just came as a visitor and just love the energy here. So I'm glad to be with you this evening. And so, Nick, thanks for the invitation, and thanks for inviting me. So yeah, I wanted to gift you all a copy of my book, People Pains. Let me just tell you a little. I'm not going to speak on that, but I just want to tell you a little bit about why I wrote the book. I believe that in all companies, your greatest assets are your people. But I also believe that some of your greatest pains and problems are with people. And so in the book, I talk about how to develop your people, but also how to solve the people issues in your companies. It's not always marketing or operations or administration that keep businesses from being successful. It's the way that people are managed in companies. So enjoy the book. It's a gift from me. Give that young man over there a copy because he didn't have one, but there's one in the middle there. And so that's my gift to you. It's just $10. Well, no, if you want to know the real price, it's $14.99. So yeah, don't try to cheat me. All right, don't try to cheat me on that. You can have another one. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is mindset. And I've tailored this for this specific group, the right mindset for business leaders. So I want to start off with my own personal struggle. Alejandro, you mentioned that you're working through limiting mindsets. I have spent my entire adult life working through limiting and negative mindsets, mainly because of my upbringing. So my parents, I grew up in a small town in West Tennessee, very small town, and there people are nice, but they have a very limited view of the world. And so I grew up with a limiting mindset that came from my parents. But more than that, my father was very negative. So not only was my view of the world limited, but I was shaped by negative thinking that my father had. And he not only displayed it, but he actually taught it. He espoused it. And so I grew up with a limiting mindset, and it blows my mind where I'm at today. I'm a man of faith as well, and I believe God has blessed my life. It's just amazing where I've ended up compared to where I started. And one of the things that I often talk about is I've never been the smartest person in the room. I've never been the most gifted person in the room, and certainly not the most handsome in the room. But one thing that I think has really put me where I'm at today is the way I think. And so that's what I want to talk about this evening. Okay. So I like this definition, or at least this statement by Carol Dweck. She said that mindset plays a big role in determining achievement and success. I thought this was relevant this evening for this reason. The business landscape is changing. And I believe that since COVID, since 2020, there have been a lot of challenges, for those of us who are in business. And one of the things that I do is I consult business leaders. And what I have discovered is there's a lot of negativity, a lot of negative thinking in business leaders because of what's around them. We've seen a lot of changing trends. We've had political things that have had adverse effects on business. We've seen a lot of things that have changed in business, and a lot of business leaders feel defeated. They feel like that the winds are blowing against them. And so what's going to get us through the changes that we're going through is our mindset. It's the way we think. And so you must first achieve victory in your thoughts before you can achieve it in reality. Okay. It's right here, people. It's right here. So we have to change the way we think. It's so important for us to do that. So I'm going to go through these slides very quickly because I have a little exercise at the end that I want to lead you through to help you process what we're talking about tonight. But your mindset is simply a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. So we all have beliefs, and we have beliefs about people. We have beliefs about ourselves. We have beliefs about the world. So it's those unique beliefs that we have, and those beliefs, they shape not only our thought process, but they shape how we behave. They shape our motivation. They shape how we respond to whatever life throws our way. Now, it's really easy to have a positive mindset when things are going our way. But one of the things that we have to discipline our minds to do is when things on a personal level aren't going well, and when things aren't going well professionally, we have to make that adaptation in our mindset. And the way we think about life, the way we think about ourselves, and the way we think of others, and the way we think of situations can change the way that we feel about them. And so to take that a little further, this is what mindset is. Your mindset influences everything about you. So your mindset influences how you think about yourself, about the world, about others. It also influences how you feel. I always tell people, if you want to change the way you feel, you must first change the way you think. And I don't know if you realize this, but if you think a certain way, you're going to feel what you're thinking. But then more than that, it influences how you behave. So that's what mindset is. It's a set of beliefs, and it shapes and influences everything about you every single day. And so there are two types of mindsets. There's what is called the fixed mindset, and there's the growth mindset. Okay. The fixed mindset says that, you believe that your abilities are fixed and your traits cannot be changed. Okay. Nothing could be further from the truth. Okay. A growth mindset says that you believe your abilities can be developed through effort and persistence. So one of the ways that I try to illustrate this is, how many of you are parents? How many of you have young kids? What's
young?
School age?
One, yeah.
Okay. So what's the age?
Well, I have a 15 and a 20-year-old.
15 to 20-year-old?
4.5.
4.5. Not quite in school yet?
Preschool.
Preschool. Okay. What's the name of your kid in school?
Joshua.
Joshua. So Joshua Alejandro comes home to you and says, "Hey, Mom, I made 100 on my test." Most parents would say, "Joshua, congratulations, you got that A because you're so smart." So what Joshua's thinking is he made the A because he was smart. A better response for kids would be, "Joshua, congratulations, you got an A on that test because you studied so hard." Now, that's the difference between developing in your kids a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Fixed mindset says that I'm smart and I've reached my pinnacle, I've reached my peak, I've reached my apex. Keep growing, I can keep developing. But more than that, the growth mindset is what you really need in business, because there are always challenges in business. You see, when you have a fixed mindset, you're going to approach your business challenges this way. Well, that's just the way the market is, or that's just the political climate, or that's just what the economy is bringing to us right now. You kind of settle in on that. But the growth mindset, what you do is you find ways to overcome those challenges because you believe that there are solutions. With a fixed mindset, you don't believe there are solutions. But with a growth mindset, you believe there are solutions. So with a fixed mindset, you give up when you face challenging circumstances. That's called a lack of courage. You give up, you give in, okay? But with the growth mindset, you view challenging circumstances as an opportunity to learn and to grow. Now, what I believe that the fixed mindset will do for you, I think it'll do two things. Number one, it gives you motivation. And number two, it gives you resilience. I've changed my definition of resilience. I used to define resilience as the ability to recover and bounce back. That's a part of it. Resilient people can look at challenges and bounce back and find solutions and work their way through those challenges. But I think resilience is more than just bouncing back. It's also being transformed by those challenging situations. You not only recover, but they change you and they make you better if you respond appropriately. And so let's look at some current business challenges. These are things that I think most businesses are dealing with right now. There's economic uncertainty. If there's anybody in the room that's in the mortgage business, in the lending business, the real estate business, you know that particular vocation right now, they're struggling. And all of us, I think we have our challenges due to the economy. I happen to be in the business consulting world. And I can tell you firsthand that when companies began to struggle financially, one of the first things that they cut are consultants like me. So all of us are impacted by economic uncertainty. We don't know where the economy is going. The economy is up and down, and that impacts our business. But it's important to stay positive, to stay focused, and to have that growth mindset when those uncertain times come in our economy. Managing teams and people, that's why I wrote the book. I'm working with a company right now where there's conflict in the company, and the CEO, he's about to pull his hair out because he's not sleeping at night because of it. It's very challenging managing the conflict. And most businesses have people issues and people problems. And you have to be resilient during those times, adapting to new trends. The markets everywhere are changing, and you have to be able to adapt to that. Cybersecurity risks. I think one of the biggest things that's impacting businesses today is remote work. You know, I have business leaders telling me that they're having a hard time building the culture and building that team spirit and building that sense of camaraderie because not everybody's in the office. Some companies are all remote, some are hybrid. But with that said, they're having a hard time bringing their people together, building that team spirit that needs to be built. Talent acquisition. More and more, we're hearing how difficult it is to find good employees. I mean, that is a wind that's blowing against a lot of businesses, and it's challenging. Retention, keeping good employees. And I don't know if you remember back in 2021, but in 2021, we had what was called the Great Resignation. And in October of 2021, there were about 4.3 million people who walked away from their jobs. And then in November, that number went up to 4.5 million. In December, it dropped a little bit. It went down to about 4.2 million. And then we saw that trend continue throughout 2022, people walking away from their jobs. And the initial data suggested that it was probably because people were looking for jobs that paid better, or they were looking for more benefits. But later studies showed something different. It wasn't just about money, salary, benefits, it was culture. People were tired of working in toxic cultures and working under bad leaders. And so this all happened during the COVID pandemic. And so the Great Resignation has been relabeled to the Great Rediscovery or the Great Refinement. Because during that time, what people did was they started contemplating what they really wanted for their life. And they realized that they don't have to work where they're working. They don't have to put up with bad leadership. They don't have to put up with toxic culture. And so with that said, a lot of companies right now are struggling with retention. And then there's digital transformation. So really quickly, what are some other business challenges that you're facing that require a positive mindset to get through it, that requires resilience? These are just a few, but what are some that you're struggling with? What are some of your challenges? What are some of the wins blowing against your business success? One,
I mean, I know sometimes for me it's cash flow.
cash flow. Yes,
Getting paid from the client and actually keep the ball rolling.
yes. Somebody else, Brianna,
Customers?
customers. Yeah.
Yep.
Difficult customers or
No, just getting more in.
getting more in? Okay, all right.
I was gonna say customer acquisition, same thing.
Yeah, yeah. What else? What else are you facing?
Competition in general.
Competition with other companies? Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. Anything else?
I mean, Tony runs a brokerage, PNC side, everything that's been going on with, because of the, you can explain it better on your side.
It's
on
just
the
one of
PNC
the
side.
areas that is struggling right now, the personal line side of insurance, which we all know why.
Yeah, yeah,
The bad decisions that they made, I understand what you're saying to the mindset, but they have to do a lot with what Ricardo had to get. I mean, your insurance different way over here.
yeah,
Everything on insurance is just huge.
yeah, yeah. I've been keeping up.
Yeah, we can consumer, so if anybody goes to the retail, that's probably.
Yes, yes. So what I want you to understand here is, yes, there are business challenges, but keep a positive mindset. And here's why. If you have a negative mindset, you're not going to be able to think clearly about developing strategies to combat it. You're just going to be defeated, feel defeated, and you're not going to do your best thinking. But with a positive mindset, you're going to believe, hey, we can overcome this. And that's going to open up your mind to create solutions to mitigate what's going on around you. You can't control your circumstances altogether, but you can control this. You can control what's inside your head. That's your mind. Keep it positive. Keep it resilient. So here are some critical mindsets for business leaders. Critical mindsets for business leaders. Optimism. Stay positive. Stay optimistic. Adaptability. It may be that with the changing trends and with circumstances around your business and around your profession, that you might have to adapt. See, with a fixed mindset, you're not going to easily adapt. But with the growth mindset, you're going to come up with solutions and strategies and approaches to adapt to what's going on around you. So adaptability. Empathy. I believe that's one of the things that's missing in the workplace today. That's a soft skill. You know, for years, we talked about hard skills of leadership, like vision setting, strategic planning. But with the millennial generation, we're going to have to use more empathy in the workplace. We're going to need to use more empathy with our customers. Now, the millennial generation, this is what they're looking for in the workplace. My generation, it wasn't so important to have empathy and care, but with the millennials, that is so important. And right now, the millennials, they occupy 45% of the workforce. And by 2030, they're going to be about 90% of the workforce. And so it's going to be important for business leaders to demonstrate empathy, compassion, and care. Then, of course, you need a resilient mindset. Be able to bounce back, be able to recover, and be able to be transformed through it. You need a visionary thinking mindset where you're always future focused. You see, with the fixed mindset, when you experience success, you can get locked into that. But no matter how successful your business is, And no matter how well you're doing now, it's always good to be thinking forward. How can we do this better? How can we improve? How can we do a better job of customer service? How can we produce better products? How can we do a better job of our serving our customers? Visionary thinking, accountability, taking responsibility for your actions and what you're responsible for. Collaboration, working as a team. I think one of the things that I think Mastermind does so well is that sense of collaboration. That is so important. You need that mindset. Courage. Courage to take risks. Risk taking is so important. And so it takes courage to do that. And then gratitude. Be thankful where you're at. Be thankful where you're at. Be thankful for what you have. You see, when you demonstrate gratitude in your own heart, that elevates that positivity in your head. Yesterday morning, I remember when I first got up, I sat down with my cup of coffee. And I just sat down and I started thinking about all the things that are good in my life. And I started thinking through that, and man, it just went on and on and on and on. And that made a huge difference in my life. Yes, I've got a few challenging clients right now, and I have some things that I wish could be a little different in my business right now. True. Let me tell you, the great things, the good things that are going on in my life and in my business right now far outweigh the negative things. So gratitude is so important if you want a positive mindset. So you can change your mindset. I didn't believe that until I got into my adult life. Like I said, when I grew up, I had a limiting mindset. I had limiting beliefs about myself. I had limiting beliefs about my potential, about where I was going to end up in life. I thought, okay, I'm from this small town. This is probably as good as it's going to get. I came into adulthood, and I began to do this mindset work. I shifted my mindset. And let me tell you why that's possible. It's possible because neurologists say that the brain is plastic. What that means is the brain is adaptable. The brain is not fixed. The brain is designed and wired so that you can always be learning new things and you can change your behavior. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. I'm going to give you some things that you can take away. First of all, identify your areas of negativity. Where is it in life that you're negative? Where is it in your business that you're negative? Identify it. Put your finger on it. Call it out. Admit it. Acknowledge it. Okay? Use self-affirmations. Use self-affirmations. Let me tell you who you are. Every single one of you in this room, you are gifted. You are talented. You are smart. You are full of potential. You were created for a purpose. And when you use self-affirmations, you're not bragging. You're just affirming of how you're created and the potential and the purpose that you have. Practice meditation. Meditation means that you think on certain things. And meditation is about emptying your mind of negative thoughts and filling them with more positive thoughts. Spend time with positive people. You've got it right here. You've got it right here. And I always tell people when I talk about mindset, clean out your tribe. Clean out your tribe. And Jesse, what is that statement? You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Is that correct? Clean your tribe up, okay? Spend time with positive people. Keep a gratitude journal. Keep a gratitude journal. Every single day, I try to write down something that I'm grateful for, okay? And then I'll jump down to number 7. I'll come back to this one. Elevate 3 positive things every day. That's what I use my gratitude journal for. Every night before I go to bed, I will sit down and reflect, and I will elevate 3 things that I'm grateful for that happened during the day. Okay? Tonight, when I go to bed, one of the things I'm grateful for is this opportunity to be with you. This is going to be one of those 3, because I've had the opportunity tonight to be around super positive people. And then you want to keep a good sense of humor. You know, there's a Bible verse in Proverbs that says, a merry heart is like medicine. All right? So having a sense of humor, it keeps you positive, because what it does is it releases those endorphins that keep you happy. So keep a good sense of humor. All right? So what I want you to do now, I want you to pair off. Can I do this for just a few minutes? I want you to pair off, And I want you to share a business challenge that you're facing right now. Talk about what your current mindset is. And I want a takeaway. I want you to share one thing as you pair off, and you can do it in groups of 3, however you want to do it. One thing that you're going to do to shift your mindset. So would it be helpful if I go back to this so you can see that, or do you want to just think of something on your own?
Leave it here.
Leave it here? You want this one?
No, it's fine.
All right. All right, if I need to, I'll come back, but this is what I want you to do. So share a business challenge. What's your current mindset? How are you thinking about it right now? And then what are you going to do to shift your mindset so that it's positive and productive? All right.
I was gonna say part of it, yeah.
Whatever you guys say.
So one of the challenges we're facing is expanding our operations.
My life was my story. So it doesn't get a chance to get up. And now I feel my legs. So I started to have school for
So you're already setting your mind. You got it.
One area.
My current right in this second is there's a $5,000 coaching program I need to fill the Infinite Growth Expo for sponsorship. And I know the mindset for wealthy people who have gotten ahead is invest, even though you have 100% faith that it's going to work. But right now I'm on the mindset right now is that that small little whisper inside, like, what if it doesn't work? How are you going to pay this back? Even though we're pretty leveraged right now. So that's my current mindset about challenge. What's going to really shift? I don't know, to be honest. Maybe just meditate. Probably meditate, because meditate really helps me move forward and get some ideas and get inspiration. So I know it's possible. It's just I have to just get over that breaking point of just go ahead and do it. Because I learned from all the different people, from all the local people I've been able to surround myself with. Is once you put the money down and you have the faith that it's going to happen, the world and God get orchestrated. So it should really have that as a challenge with it.
I'm a believer that the more you spend, the more you're going to get. I believe
to kind of get past the challenge, just go for it. So you can even know for it.
It's a nice work for us, right? You just overcome that fear, because there's fear.
It's always a clear and everything is a small role, but you know, I still don't have a here, I don't have it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then they kind of fall off the wagon. So just picking the clients that.
Mine is very similar to yours. I'm a solopreneur, and my business it's really going well. And as a solopreneur, I'm doing the marketing and network. I'm doing all the administration. It's a lot. And so the mindset that I have right now, what I'm fighting is going back to my upbringing. Not only did my parents have what is called a safe mindset. I mean, the fact that I started a business, that would blow their minds. They would go, and what the tape that's running in my mind right now is my dad. See, son, you should have done that. So I'm fighting that. So what I'm doing to fight that is I'm doing self-affirmations. You know, telling myself, this is the right thing to do. I'm good at this. I was meant for this. I was born for this. So that's my big challenge right now.
Affirmation self, I just started actually. I went to 10X Growth Conference a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I have all of these different things that I'm gonna put on note cards just to keep this.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, we'll try to go right here.
Okay.
All right, so thank you. Okay, all right. 2025, yes. All right, thank you so much.
So are you planning on opening the Chino?
We're opening Temecula next week. I think we're finding the system, and then we're gonna open it in I think every city needs one, but we're trying to strategize how to run them all.
What do you do like?
My main business was health insurance, all that stuff, and I got rid of all my agents. I passed them to somebody else.
Okay.
And I started it just by myself. I mean, I saw the brokerage. I have a lot of accounts. Now I'm just trying to kind of transition out because this is my passion. I was trying to have it run by itself by a referral partner.
What do you think? I'm still in my business person, just so you don't have it.
It's always the best part. It's always the best part, you know, when you get people in groups. You go to too many seminars, it doesn't do anything here, and it doesn't play out in action.
For Dr. Reggie Thomas. So one I took away is that the beliefs can make or break you in your life, and who you surround yourself with. And if you're surrounded by growth-minded people, then you keep growing. You're not limited. And another thing I took away is that a growth mindset can be developed through perseverance. You're not limited, no matter if you have some doubt and stuff. You can develop through that. And in our group, we were talking about some limiting belief right now, and I just kind of made the decision that I just, you know, I persevered through that little challenge. We want to just acknowledge and thank you for being a speaker. So if you want to come up here and take this, and then if somebody doesn't mind taking a picture from the phone as well. Good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm saying first.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
All right, guys, on three. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Great being here. Thank you.
So a couple announcements before we get into the mastermind part of it. I know we had a little a taste of the mastermind in a way, but we have the Infinite Growth Expo. As Jesse mentioned earlier, it all happened from an idea. Something that seemed impossible at the time became possible in just a very short period of time, 3 months, where we had speakers who were internationally known. This year, we're going to do it 4 times as big. And we have speakers like Tim Story, the coaches to like Oprah and some of the celebrities. We have Greg S. Reed, who owned, I think it's called Sports One, a huge sports company. And then David Metzler as well. Actually, Greg S. Reed, he's written over 150 books. 38 of them were bestsellers. Wow. So these are the type of people. And then we have Dr. Jason Chiriano going to be talking about health and vitality. And of course, some of us are going to be there as well speaking. So I hopefully you guys can attend that because it's going to be an amazing event, growth-minded to help people shift their mindset and move to the next level with systems. Next week, May 16th, we have our grand opening in Temecula. The cool thing about this gentleman, Ryan Garland, I'm super excited that he's a special guest speaker. For 3 years straight during COVID, he was the #1 loan producer in all of California. He did $1.5 billion in loans during that time. Right now, he's doing huge commercial projects from storage places to these barns where it has 3 levels and you could put your storage and boat underneath in Lake Havasu right now, doing big projects, raising capital on a large scale. So he's going to be in a private room with us, just like we had Dr. Reggie Thomas here today, private room with next week. So I highly recommend you register for that. We have you here. Alan Diaz is going to be here on the 23rd. He's going to talk about, he's one of our business partners. He has 12 different companies. He's going to be talking about the money mindset, how to think differently about money, how to use money differently, and how to grow your wealth tax-free using different self-directed IRAs that are non-taxable. So here's the group mastermind. As Jesse said earlier, a few years ago in 2019, I read the book Think and Grow Rich, and I wanted to be a part of this mastermind group that they mentioned in the book. And I started looking at all the different areas for a group like that. And I found some great networking groups. I found the local chamber, which I'm still a part of, but I didn't find a group that was like this, that share ideas, share challenges, share resources, live by the law of abundance. You don't have to hoard in your secrets, but that energy. And so I couldn't find it. So I started just actually down the street at that little sandwich place, and it just started growing. And over time, I started refining it. And now we have a great group that's growing because of the energy and the great speakers and the people who have been involved. So this is one of my favorite parts is sharing ideas and, sharing resources and helping each other with challenges. So you have 3 questions on your sheet. On here, I labeled them all number 1. You know why? Because you're only going to pick one of the questions to answer. So the question number 1, if you want to share, is what is your 10-year vision for yourself? Whether it be in business, in your life. A lot of times we, at least for me, I can only think a lot of times 1, 3, 5 years in advance. And 10 years just seems so far out there. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'd love to hear somebody if you know what your 10-year vision is. Question number 2 is what's one challenge you have in your business? And what systems, resources, or people do you need to connect with it to overcome this challenge? The last question is, what's one amazing resource, app, software, or system you've implemented in your business that you'd like to recommend to others? So we're going to go around the table, and I'll end with you, Dr. Reggie. If you want to, and then right now we're actually going to just start with the members. If we have enough time, then we'll go with the guests. So Alejandra, do you want to start?
So my tenure, like what you said, I usually would think, oh, my 1 year, like plan out 1 year. And a few years ago, somebody mentioned to me, can you think 5 years? Like you really need to expand on that. And sure enough, I made the plan and things just started to happen and evolve in that direction, to the point that it brought me back from Texas, back to California. And then it aligned me with this gentleman here, which I finally found a brokerage that I worked with business owners for 23 years now as a business banker for B of A, and then as a insurance, life and health insurance agent now. And so working with business owners, business owners do business with people they know, like, and trust. And I was gaining their trust, and they wanted help with other lines of business. And so I would go about networking, but sometimes when you don't have a solid business partnerships, you even hesitant to refer them out. So what I found in Tony's brokerage is he actually has, well, the heart that he has, but primarily all the lines of business. So now I can go to my business owner and help them reduce their tax liabilities, help them save money on general liability, workman's comp, whatever the need for the client is, then I know that I can take care of. So what I think about my next 10 years is I have just partnered with Tony in the next 3 years to really build an agency, be an arm of his agency, but continue to be aligned with all the resources that he has. And then that takes into it personally with my 2 boys. I always tell them, like, we've sacrificed so much. I would bring them to the office, have them with me, sometimes Uber them home by themselves in an Uber as a single mom. So my oldest just is going to boot camp this weekend. And the biggest thing is I said to him, in the next 5 years, by the time you're done, like the agency will be cash flowing. We'll be able to enjoy, we're going to travel and really spend time as a family. That's my 10-year video.
That's great. That's great. Bruno,
For us right now is, I would say, like we're just talking in a small group, is customer retention. Because we're membership based, and we're noticing that, we are signing up memberships. The only thing is, before it was people were staying on the memberships for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. We have members that have been with us since we opened. Now we're noticing the trend is anywhere between 1 to 4 months. And it's just mainly that people aren't coming in. It's not like, I've been doing a lot of research in regards to this. I've been reaching out to our members and clients. Usually when we get a cancellation, I'm the one who handles it. They're just like, oh, I don't have time coming in, family issues or whatever. And then, I would say maybe 10 to 15% is the money issue, that like, oh my God, I don't have funds right now to pay for it, or they're moving out of state, but it's a very small portion. It's morely that they're not coming in. So we're just trying to figure out how to keep them engaged and continue coming, to reap the benefits.
so what's one system, resource, or people do you need to kind of help overcome this, or have you already found it, or?
Still working on it. Good question. So, just the main thing is, if they continue coming at least once or twice a week, then after probably we've noticed after a month or 2, they're hooked because they notice the difference. But the problem is getting them in that once or twice a week, because we're all so busy. A lot of them are still business owners. So it's just like, telling you, hey, you need to go to South Oasis, put your phone away. That's the tricky part. Yeah.
Is it okay to suggest something? Because we were just at the business summit for Grant Cardone over in Arizona. And one of the things that she does aesthetics. So I met a woman, and they actually started a membership type service through the pandemic when their profits were slowing down. And so she said that she also noticed changes. One thing you would want to do is in your membership, try to make it to where it's heavy in the front and then it goes down, the prices go down in the back.
We have the tiers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have.
Is
the
it
tiers.
tiered to where the premiums actually go, or the monthly membership goes down
Correct.
over the,
Yes.
okay.
Well,
that's
one
what
great
really
thing that
worked
Mitch suggested, because we work with Mitch as well a little bit here. So one of the things that he suggested is doing like a monthly, like how you have a membership that you pay for like the movies, right? And you pay a monthly, you get X amount of movies.
Mhm.
So switch completely to members and have them pay maybe $20 or $25 just to be a member. And then when they're coming in, to make sure that they're discounted at that point. So like non-outside people, just mainly membership based. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now.
One more thing. So one of my business is membership based.
Mhm.
So what we did is, especially during the pandemic time where people were trying to cancel, they didn't have time or they were doing too much stuff. So what we did is we didn't cancel them. We offer them a small flat fee to keep the membership and not lose the tier pricing that they had at that time. Because we tell them, if you lose your membership now, when you come back, it's going to be a different price, right? So they just say you're paying $200 now, 6 months from now, it might be $250. So if you want to lock in that price, pay $50 a month until you catch up with all the sessions that you missed for the last 2-3 months, catch up, and then you reactivate at the regular price that you were paying 2-3 months ago. So that's one way to keep them. And, make sure you tell them, hey, you're going to lose the price in the 6 months at this tier when you come back. Because that's going to give them that fear of missing out. All right, let me lock in that pricing. And I'd rather pay this suspension fee.
I was gonna say, I kept a Bally Total Fitness membership for years for that reason. Yes. I never went.
Thank you very much, guys.
So for me, what's my 10-year vision? So I own a few different companies. I started Conrad Alloys, my consulting firm, specifically for 10-year outlook. So I wanted to do something I can do, like to involve in business, Shark Tank, a very old man, and providing advisory services allows me to do that. So what I'm doing right now to kind of build a foundation for this next 10 years is I'm putting together the work that I've done to 2 different frameworks and formats, and that will kind of become my platform. So I'm building that platform right now, and I'm hoping that it stretches me into 10 to 20 years from now. So yeah, you guys will be kind of seeing this as it evolves a little bit, and some people who work with me have kind of gotten some taste of it, and it's just a methodology. So it's a method, it's a practice, it's a mindset, and it's knowing where you want to be. It's kind of
So I'll do the third one now. One amazing resource. So there is an app that I use called Everend. It used to be called Scribe. It's kind of like Audible, but I like it better personally than Audible just because I have access to a lot of different books. And that's actually what I use to read a lot of times, because physical books are great, but I don't like to take them outside my house. And so at least with the app, I have the ability to take that anywhere with me. So if I have some extra free time and I want to read, then I have it there and I can, catch up on my reading or something.
What's it called?
It's called Everend.
How do you spell it?
Erand. I don't know if I pronounce it right. But that's how I
You
pronounce
said
it.
about conviction, I'm good. What color is it? What color is it?
It's yellow.
Yellow.
They just changed their name.
I didn't know if that was just hard. For me, I guess one of the main challenges that I overcame was creating business partnerships. I think I was operating business like in 2008, where it was like referral. So I would be driving to all these locations, meeting people, and then setting lunch meetings, and it's just a bunch of like it went nowhere because referral is once in a while, maybe if it even happens. You guys never guaranteed. So I started focusing on business partnerships, and the one thing that has helped me just being part of the masterminding and having conversations of quality stuff with like Mitch, identifying my client was one thing, but then identifying the qualities I look for in a business partner was that was a game changer. And it was okay for me to say, hey, the number one thing I look for is faith-based. The other one that I look for is like, hey, they've invested in some sort of coaching mentorship. And for me, I said 10K just because it's like it takes a commitment to invest in somebody, right? So I don't care who they invest in. I just want to know that they're coachable, because oftentimes I did business with people, even though they had $1 million and stuff, they had trust issues. Like, and it was nothing with me. It's just, people go through betrayals and stuff. So I noticed that in the same way in like in dating where be mindful if they can't trust me for whatever reason that it's not me. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Same thing in business. When somebody projects onto me like their inability to trust or something's going on, I'm like, this is probably not going to work because I know my intentions and like I come from a win-win. Now, granted, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but being able to identify that has helped me also say, okay, no to this, and then just like that, I'll meet somebody that is like in alignment with it. So I think having the ability to say no has led me to the ability to say, this is for me. So that's where I'm at right now with, I want to say the best business partnership, Nick Pies, it's like, it's phenomenal. Thank you.
For me, a 10-year vision, being that that I've been surrounded by people that think a little bit bigger than me, is actually build up so for a long time I felt like this is my baby, right? So I'm growing this baby and I don't want to let it go. But seeing that I can do multiple things for my business, actually build it up to where it's nice and plump and then sell it. Or even just leave a little portion of equity inside so where it cash flows me. And then also invest in other businesses that are struggling that I could purchase. But one of the visions I think for the next 10 years is actually just sell it or leave a little piece of the pie in, my foot in, so I could be able to keep going. But I think that's my 10-year vision.
It's good. How about you, Nate?
Oh, I say I'll do the third one. One resource that or system, app, that's what it is, it's not, that I recently found out. So for my business, I send large files all the time. And I've been using Dropbox for like a while, but I've been running some issues when it comes to uploading. And sometimes when I upload it, it takes like 3 hours, and then by the second hour, it just crashes. And I mean, I don't know how many people deal with that, but it sucks. Like, you know what I mean? And then someone on the other end's waiting, and you're just like, what's going on? Yeah. So recently, I was referred to WeTransfer. I don't know if you guys heard of it. Oh my gosh, it's
How do you spell it?
it's We, so WE, and then transfer. Yeah. So it's just super. I mean, oh my gosh, I thought it. And they have a free version too. So if you guys ever just need to send, like, I think it's up to 2 gigabytes. Yeah, because I've used Google Drive, I use Dropbox, and both of them same issue. So WeTransfer, it's so easy. You send it to them, they can download it on their platform, so you don't have to hold it, you don't have to carry storage and all that. So it's just, yeah, WeTransfer is a good one. But I will keep in mind though, I think it's about a week until that link expires. I think it's about a week.
Unless you go to like the premium version.
I think you have the premium. Yeah.
Now let's just say like you have a premium version, but the person you send it doesn't even have do they need to have an account, or is just like they just
No,
they just click it?
It makes it download things.
yeah, but the cool part is instead of you send something to Nick could send that same link to you, Jesse. And as long as you have that, you can just like keep it, or you could just download it. But yeah, I think it's the premium version. I'm not sure. I just got the premium version. I don't know if it expires within a week, but yeah, WeTransfer helps out a lot. So
Beautiful about that is that, man, back in 2000, I'm dating myself for, I worked for a large architectural company, and file central was always a problem. And it's crazy that it's still a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
They got AI, but
Biggest
But the partners, right, it used to do like master sites for like the Venetian Hotel and stuff, like that gigantic amounts of data back then. And it was always a problem. You had to buy these services and do all this crap. And the fact that people are still doing it, it's just
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you said,
I remember like 2014, someone mailed me a thumbprint.
with large data sets, right? Like I have a friend that works for Desiree, and they buy data and it comes in 50 trucks. Right? So the data comes in gigantic storage arrays, and then they download them and they send them back.
Amazon, Microsoft, they do it all the time.
Yeah,
Just to go.
I think it's always going to be an issue because every year that goes by, the amount of gigabytes we're capturing, like it just increases. Like that camera right there, I think is like 30, I don't know. It's
Something.
a lot. It takes like 6 hours to download the 2-hour things. It's kind of ridiculous. So I got excited even just writing this question because it kind of got me in the juices of what's going to happen in the business. So my 10-year goal is just as Juan says, is build the IE Mastermind globally, to have chapters all around the world and be able to pull out of it. I still have some equity in the company, so I can still like network with amazing people all around the world. And then the app, which we're going to do beta testing starting tomorrow. I'm on the phone with the developer and we're going to start beta testing. But just imagine having this app and being able to connect with growth-minded people all around the world, share like resources, collaborate on the app, and people in Europe or wherever, and just everybody's growth-minded, everybody's open with ideas. That's what's in the Verge. And then Jesse and I have been talking about the IE Mastermind headquarters and event center right here in Rancho Cucamonga. Having an event center where there's 1,000 people can come for an event. We can rent it out. The chamber just asked me, do you know any event centers? And then throughout it, we can have podcast rooms where we can use, but also rent out to local people. And so that's my 10-year goal, and it kind of excites me just talking about it.
Yeah, and on that note, man, it's like one of the things I always share is protect your blessings, right? Some of these ideas that we have, be mindful of where you share it. So it's like the cool thing about this mastermind, even hearing like you're sharing and then seeing like, wow, like so somebody new get excited about that, it's like the collective ability to be like, yeah, that is possible, But see, we're all solution oriented here, where it's like we have an issue. Instead of paying 10K, 20K, 40K for a one-time usage, why don't we just solve the main thing, which is like, let's have our own headquarters. So plug us in, guys, to the right people.
What I was gonna say is that you may not have a better time in the next 3 years to buy something big for cheap.
Yeah.
That is coming crashing down here.
That's true.
That's true. The big office building and stuff.
Yeah.
But you gotta be able to make those connections for the investment.
It will happen.
Thank you for that.
There's a place behind the what is that mall, Victoria Gardens?
Mhm.
It's like a theater. I don't know how many
Yeah,
it fits, but it's actually pretty cool because it's like theater seating,
Yeah.
and you have the stage in the center.
Yeah.
I don't know how many chairs. Here's my card.
Yeah, it's already taken, but yeah, I was just there.
Oh, you already found it?
Yeah, I know.
Already on it. He's made it on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But- All right, since we have 12 minutes left, we're going to have Dr. Reggie share one question. We'll go around until we run out of time.
I'll pick number one. So let me frame it: purpose, passion, ability. So purpose is not what you do, it's what happens to people when you do it. And passion, when it comes to passion, I am passionate about public speaking, giving presentations. Ability, I don't claim to be a great public speaker, but people have affirmed my speeches when I've given them, my presentations when I've given them. So my vision is to move more away from consulting and do more public speaking, speaking, motivational speaking to business leaders. But I want to do it nationally, and I want it to grow internationally. So I'm 60 years old, so hopefully I can get her done before I'm 70, right? Yeah. But that's my vision. I love speaking. I get energized every time I speak, give a presentation. I don't know if that came across tonight, but I was in my element. Yeah, I'm in my element when I do that.
Thank you for being
Yeah.
here.
Thank you.
You're looking at me, so.
Yeah.
One of the things is, to me, what I've learned this past 8 years is I'm about to be a decade into the business, 2 years away from what I was visualizing 8 years back. It's like, okay, I'm 8 years ahead of now. It's understanding how I need to adapt and make decisions as the CEO of the company. But one of the things that I'm paying attention is, okay, 8 years, something like that. 10 years is going to go even faster because there's more momentum that is happening now with the company. So I'm understanding the platform that God, Jesus is creating for us. So at the end of the day, the business is just what's creating the platform to talk to other business owners like yourselves. But it's understanding the true message, which is, to me, and I said it earlier today, I think, I don't know if you were there or not, is freedom of speech, right? And I'm going to exercise my constitutional amendment of talk about what I want to talk, which is my relationship with God. But if it's a business, is what he's allowing me to understand. And to me, it's relationships like Alejandra and the other 50 partners that we work with. But it's how do we continue to grow it strategically, not to the business, obviously, we have a plan. We have a side for the MGA side, which now we're gonna go from 50 to another 150 from the commercial side. From the financial space, is working with partners to eventually give a franchise so that they can run and operate everything on their own. So we do have the plans, but most importantly, so what the business is just the byproduct of what the truth to me is it's speaking, which is also what I appreciate, but it's not just speaking about business.
Yeah.
It's how business owners really relying on him, trusting the Lord with all your heart and not rely on your own understanding, which we all do that a lot in business. We think we got the solutions. We think we got the solutions. It doesn't we hit the wall, doesn't we hit the wall. It's not until we understand trusting the Lord with all your heart. Do not rely on your own understanding. Why couldn't we apply that into business? Why can't we not apply that into our personal life? Stop relying on what we know. Once I understood that and I accepted that, okay, God, take it. I'll run your company, but it's not my company. I'm just your servant. So to me, it's for the next 10 years, is obviously create the company stronger than what we are today after 8 years. But at the same time, it's like, it's not just business. And truly build a relationship with people, not a transaction, not telling people what to do, telling them how we can help each other, but understanding, being humble, that you're stepping into somebody else's territory. You cannot tell people what to do. Are they willing to listen? I got something to it. I know it. Like, I'm confident in what I can add, but it's not for everybody. But then it is, but it's a message of God. So it all becomes not a religion, but a relationship. That's what I'm on for the next 10 years.
That's great. I was going to share something that I don't know if I can find it. But at the 10X conference, I spoke with a lot of people, and they're all growth minded. And I figured out some things that were all in common. Is one of them, we wanted to help other people. Like all of them, we have this urge inside to help other people. And also, they're all kind of driven by a passion, some sort of passion that's bigger than just business, you know, whether it be giving back and helping youth, or, you know, helping people tap into full potential. But this is what I keep hearing from all this group, and it kind of excites me that, you know, you guys probably relate to some of those as well. I can't find which ones they were, but yeah, thank you for sharing them. Would like to share one of them?
Sure. Let's see. Well, 10-year vision's a little far out for me right now. I'll just go with, I'm laying kind of in a groundwork laying stage. So I'm setting up the infrastructure, the systems, the processes, and I've been doing it for the company that I work for now, with the intention of moving that under my own. So it's been a process to get where I am now, and it started 16 years ago, and with a 10-year about hiatus in there, and about 5-6 years ago back into building. And I look at that 4 years back, even 6 years back, and I'm actually in the process of doing exactly what I had scheduled for this period of time. It feels like it's been a long time, but it's really right on pace with what it could be. So a lot of I'm licensed in real estate, I'm licensed in mortgage, but I'm the admin, I'm the systems developer. Anyone in business knows you're also a marketer and salesperson in anything you do. So learning those skills and strategies, I'd say 10 years down the road, I have a vision bigger than just business as well. And I am a man of faith. And one thing that I set out to do a long time back was to create a safe space. I'm a musician as well. So to create a safe space and a creative environment for worship teams to go to a retreat area where they can expand on their musical creation. And that's something that is And that would probably be at the 10-year mark that I'm looking at. But there's so much in between there, and but the ball's rolling. And it's great to be here to hear people that have similar visions. Like everything you spoke on today, not everything, I won't say everything, but I've heard pieces of these things Simon Sinek has addresses, and I didn't even know that it was the infinite group, but there was something I listened to recently was the finite mindset versus the infinite mindset. And so all of that just kind of, it just seems like this is the place where I was meant to be today at this time. And it's amazing how those things continue to happen. So thanks for having me.
And I know you rescheduled an appointment too, right? Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kicked a couple things out of the way to be here.
So we're glad you're here.
I to share something about the nice. Today I was just writing, and I think I wrote down that since the Industrial Revolution, since the 1900s, everything in business has already been discussed and evolved and rehashed countless times, right? So we never really hear anything new, but the way it is delivered is what changes your mindset, right? So every time we see these things, they're like, oh yeah, I kind of know this, or it kind of sounds familiar, but it's this process of rehearing it or within the context of how you hear it that actually changes how you think. So it's the right place at the right time.
Yeah. If I can add that to musical terms, I study music too. I mean, all chords have been there forever. It's just like you put them together, it's a new tune. And that is
Same in the creative space, right? Like your brain cannot create something it's never seen before. So it's like creating some technically are copying from each other over and over again, just in different ways, right? Like,
And then I acknowledge you just for being present and self-aware and like paying attention to all these things happening, because it's like reconfirmation. Just in the little group session that we had, Juan said that today 4 times he's heard the same message over. What was it about?
It was about reading.
So that's like,
Yeah, it was about how we think, we feel has a definite effect on how we actually feel physically. So it goes back to the physical and the thinking. And I was sharing with Jesse that I had a project and Nick knows too, Big Bear. But because the budget was so small, from the beginning I put in my head that I was thinking negative, and it came to realization it was negative. And it's just like the mindset that I was creating in the beginning was the result of what happened. So if I would have changed my mindset, I would have done everything I could to physically make profit.
yeah.
But because I had already put myself in a negative state, it happened.
So we have a couple minutes for Anthony and Gabriel still.
sure, I'll just put that. I'm sure an app, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
like leaning into the answers like ChatGPT. I haven't used that.
I use it too. It's awesome.
To copy paste anything, but like just for like the initial kind of administrative type stuff, like create an outline for this project, and then like basically it creates the plates for me, and then I just fill in with food, right? Like it's like I use it big time for like storyboarding, like create a storyboard for add around this, and it creates the preliminary work, so then I can just get right into like the meat of it. Yeah. So ChatGPT, man, it's been big. It saves me hours of like pre-production work.
You build a custom one?
No, I just use ChatGPT.
I
Yeah.
don't know, but you can build one to kind of do exactly what you want. You can train it to do those things better. And you can kind of build individual.
Oh, that's gonna be my next evolution.
Find them to do very specific tasks, and I'll pop them open, and you can basically upload documents that you wanted to repeat or use similar type of language or how to speak or how to kind of approach the subject.
Yeah.
And then you just feed it with stuff, and then it will start to customize it towards what you want. So it starts to refine it.
Yeah.
It's still not great. I mean, it kind of does the same crappy things over and over, but you just edit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not meant to like do the final product. It just it gives you a nice framework.
Yeah.
It saves time.
As
Yeah.
you train it, it starts to get pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's super interesting.
And that was it.
So I go with my 10-year vision. So my goal is to continue to just build the wealth for my kids. I mean, I have 3 daughters, so it's just what I'm going to leave for them. So continue to build businesses. I found passion in building companies. Like it's more rewarding to me than working for somebody. I don't know what it is. Just building the culture, like I know you went back to, it's not about telling people what to do, this is our objective as a group, you know, we're gonna do this together. And just having that mentality, I feel like I have built a culture in my group that has worked. So, and I find passionate, like I'm just so passionate about that. So continue to do that. And like I say, just build wealth for my kids. Just continue to do it for the next 10 years. And hopefully in 10 years, I can kind of walk away and just have a piece of everything that I can just get that cash flow and just live on an island somewhere. I don't know. And just like that.
Sure. Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Wow. All right, so let me see.
That was a good little mess.
That was.
Okay, thank you everybody for sharing.
So for those of you who aren't members yet, this is actually going to be going up. We decided that we're going to do it at 12/9/7.
Yeah.
12/9/7, starting when the app comes out. So if you're interested in becoming a member and having this on a monthly basis, now that we have 2 chapters here every month, as long as there's room, you're welcome to join all of them. So it's only $9.97 for an entire year membership. That includes the app that's going to be coming beta tested starting probably next week. So the next part is just networking. So this quote, the further you go, the further you see. I heard it from Ryan Blair. Anybody know who Ryan Blair is?
That's one of my mentors. You know,
Oh, really?
Yes, Carpe Diem Tatter, you know how I have it?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I listened to him all the way to Arizona, and I don't know, but yeah. So one of the things about networking is you got to be strategic. Is if you're gonna have lunch with somebody, make sure that you can trust them, the business, you know, and then you also want to have. Here, I wrote some things down. Learn what drives them, what their passions are, what their goals are, what their challenges are. Just having lunch with people and just, you know, talking like that, you really don't move the ball ahead unless you can like synergize how you can really work together on a higher level. Come up with ideas how to potentially work together or ways you can support or hold each other accountable. One thing I love about this group, and one of my accountability partners is the surgeon, Dr. Jason Chiriano, and he's mine and I'm his, is having somebody who holds you accountable for these big things that you want to attain. And a group like this is there to kind of support you, you know, pushing you forward and saying, hey, you said you're going to do this. What happened? You know, that's what helps you move the ball forward. Because a lot of times we don't want to let somebody else down as much as we do ourselves. So having somebody accountable is always good to have. And that's pretty much it. So now it's open networking. Anybody have any questions?
Let's take a picture.
Yeah, we'll have a group photo, and then it's just networking.
So I called Dr. Jason yesterday. Guess who answered? One of the nurses, and you know what they were doing? Having surgery. And I'm like, did this guy literally pick up the phone on surgery? I'm like, yeah, so Dr. Jason's like, yeah, and then he's talking to him kind of like, hey, what do you want to eat on this? But like the conversation was, you know, but you know, I told you I spoke to him. Yeah. During surgery, I'm like, no doctors do that. So I think about that. So he's actually a surgeon? Yeah.
That's a little thing.
He was the president of the Southern California Surgeon Society. He used to take limbs off people when they were diabetic and stuff like that. He hated like just taking all the stuff like after people were not neglecting their bodies. And then now he's like creating like the environment from within to heal the body. So now he's like a whole different person. So
We told him already. We told him.
all right, if you guys want to jump up here, we're gonna do a group photo.
I'm trying to double D look at that. Thanks for coming. Thank you. You know who you look like? What do they tell you? He's a Luka Doncic. You know, Luka.